All right, so when Trump promised coast-to-coast concealed carry rights, everyone jumped on it. Congress got busy bringing back a bill everyone thought was a dream come true. 200 sponsors, press briefings, and those viral memes painted H.R. 38 in bright red as the savior for gun owners who were always feeling like criminals when crossing state lines. But soon enough, folks realized it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. What's the deal? Well, this so-called biggest win for gun rights in decades had some hidden snares that could turn good folks into accidental lawbreakers. Today, we're diving into Trump's November speech, H.R. 38's revival, and the progress so far. But hang tight, because we're also going to pick apart the Firearms Policy Coalition's deep analysis of this bill. Unlike those flashy press releases, they've actually combed through the fine print. Let's dive in. Last November, when Trump snagged his second term, he made it clear. The Second Amendment doesn't stop at state lines. That hit home because for years, folks have been treated like outlaws just for driving from Indiana to Illinois. Trump's promise was to change that. If your home state trusts you with a carry, others should too. Trump's promise came hot on the heels of Bruin's reminder to the lower courts that bearing arms isn't just some secondary liberty. It added fuel to an already blazing fire. Permit holders, constitutional carry folks, instructors, and even gun store owners saw a chance to settle a fight that had been lingering since the Clinton era. Excitement went through the roof when the House leadership dusted off the old bill, H.R. 38, rebranded it as the Constitutional Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act, and pushed it to judiciary real fast. Behind the scenes, staffers spun talking points about fairness for truckers, traveling nurses, and families on road trips. They painted it like the driver's license model, but for self-defense. Meanwhile, social media was buzzing with memes equating carry permits to marriage licenses in Vegas. If that's valid nationwide, why shouldn't a carry permit be the same? It all sounded good. Come March, the Judiciary Committee advanced the bill with an 18-9 vote. The chairman held quick pressers, declaring a floor vote was on the horizon. 200 co-sponsors jumped on board. The NRA shot out fundraising emails, calling it the biggest leap since the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act. The White House hinted at the president signing it at an open-air rally with permit holders from every state in the spotlight. Sounds great on the surface, right? But dig a bit deeper, and you'll find hidden traps. By checking out the Firearms Policy Coalition's website, you'd see they're not just a hobby group. It's a dedicated law outfit, often taking New York and California to court. These folks assemble the largest Second Amendment litigation team around. They don't just raise alarms to sell merchandise. When they speak up, I listen. They dissected H.R. 38 line by line and identified 3 red flags that gave even the die-hard supporters a pause. First up is the wallet problem. The bill insists you have a valid government photo ID and permit at all times. No leniency, no explanations, no slap on the wrist. Forget your driver's license at home, which everyone's done, and suddenly a law-abiding motorist becomes a felon if a state trooper pulls them over. Anti-gun areas already treat paperwork errors like trophies. Per H.R. 38's wording, one missing card becomes cause for arrest, confiscation, and lifelong stripped firearm rights. The FPC wants the wording adjusted so an innocent mistake isn't grounds for prison. Seems fair since the bill is supposed to protect carriers, not trip them up. Second is the public space loophole. Reciprocity looks freeing until you discover states can bar firearms from any public property without metal detectors. Anti-gun cities could mark parks, sidewalks, bus stops, and parking garages as sensitive areas. They might hide no weapons signs, setting traps for travelers. Picture taking a stroll with your dog along the Hudson in New York. You assume federal law has your back, then bam, you step onto a pier suddenly marked a gun-free zone. That's an E-class felony and a possible 10-year sentence. Critics call it state autonomy, but in reality, it's letting hostile places nullify the whole bill. The FPC's revisions would stop this local weaponization of unmarked areas and keep true to nationwide rights. Third, the single pistol clause. The bill only covers one handgun, one magazine, and the ammo in that mag. Everyday carriers often carry extra mags, a tourniquet, pepper spray, or a backup revolver in an ankle holster. Families on long drives bring a box with extra ammo. Competitive shooters haul caddies of loaded mags to matches. None of that's protected the way the bill is currently written. A Kansas permit holder heading to Denver for an IDPA event lands in jail if an extra mag in her range bag isn't covered by the statute. Lawmakers likely wanted to prevent moving truckloads of guns, yet their wording criminalizes being prepared. The FPC's language extends protection to normal defensive gear, balancing security and realistic carry needs. These three issues alone are reasons to hit the brakes. Then there's the giant elephant overlooked by even the seasoned carriers. The Federal Gun-Free School Zones Act, Title 18, U.S. Code, Section 922, Subsection Q. This law bans firearm possession within 1,000 feet of a school unless your permit is issued by that state. Constitutional carry privileges don't count because there's no permit to present. Reciprocity as written doesn't override this act. So, cruising on a highway in Wisconsin, you could inadvertently commit a federal offense within 1,000 feet of a rural school since your permit is Texan, not from Wisconsin. Federal prosecutors have charged folks on this, even post-Bruin. They see the 1,000-foot rule like overlapping landmines, and GPS apps won't warn you when crossing this unseen line. The FPC argues a serious national carry bill needs to repeal or change this school zone law. Else, carriers trade one legal maze for another. Gun owners in constitutional carry states may shrug, assuming they're free. Not quite. Constitutional carry vanishes as soon as you cross a state line, never touching federal zones. A Wyoming rancher visiting Glacier National Park enjoys open carry at home, but Montana requires permits for concealed carry in towns. Pull into Missoula for gas, state law kicks in. If HR 38 passes unchanged, he risks federal school zone charges every few miles. Without the proper fixes, constitutional carry citizens face both federal and local traps with a false sense of safety. Meanwhile, the legislative clock's ticking. The House floor calendar's packed with money issues, border talks, and election drama. Leadership wants a smooth, quick vote they can call it promised kept. But clean and quick rarely means thorough. Should the bill clear the House, the Senate's filibuster trap is waiting. 60 votes needed unless the majority sneaks it into some budget reconciliation trick, which gun control folks would tear apart with amendments to gut it, or add poison pills about red flag funding. If it miraculously survives, blue state attorneys have already got complaints ready for the 9th and 2nd Circuits, claiming it oversteps state powers. The hope is to draft a bill solid enough to withstand all that legal fuss. Loose wording leaves open doors for hostile judges. That's why FPC's campaign is key. They're not asking Congress to toss out reciprocity just to get it right. They've made a site to auto-generate letters to reps, pointing out the pitfalls. It offers amendment language so they don't have to start from scratch. Send the message, you get a call number to nudge them further. Critics say delays mean defeat, but history says rushing is worse. The 1986 Firearm Owners Protection Act, shortened to FOPA, was meant to secure gun transport, but was so vague, Jersey and New York prosecutors still nab travelers, citing accessible firearms. Courts often back them due to fuzzy wording. A sloppy reciprocation bill would share the same destiny. It's better to spend a month on edits than watch good folks lose rights in trials a year down the line. Fixing HR 38 matters culturally, too. Once ordinary folks can carry without fear in any state, seeing a holstered pistol won't be a big deal, like wearing a seatbelt. The more the public sees regular folks responsibly armed in places like Boston Common or the Santa Monica Pier, the harder it is for gun control groups to demonize carry permits. Passing a bad law ends up with stories about out-of-state gun fans getting arrested in NYC, reinforcing bad stereotypes. A good law tells tales of protection and deterrence, changing public perceptions in the long run. A few House members are chatting about friendly amendments. One takes out the photo ID rule, allowing any identity proof, digital or physical, so a forgotten wallet isn't a catastrophe. Another echoes federal LEOSA language, securing 2 firearms and ammunition or magazines legally owned by the traveler. A third strikes the local property exemption, forcing states to use guarded entrances. If they want to restrict firearms, means metal detectors, not hidden signs. The last proposal repeals the school zone law, or at least creates a safe space for any valid state permit holder. Combine these 4 changes, and you've got a sturdier reciprocity law. Folks will yell federal overreach, just like with civil rights bills pushing lunch counter integration. Rights stay rights, because states can't overrule them. The Second Amendment's text is as plain as the First's. Nobody says you need 51 press passes to speak freely cross-country. Even skeptics not big on guns should grasp this equal protection idea. Basic rights shouldn't depend on your zip code. If reciprocity is a given, better make it hardy enough to stand up in court than let nervous lawmakers tweak it to death post-passing. FPC's game plan is speed-focused. Their lawyers feel the time to amend is now until the House votes. Once the bill races to the Senate, amendments toughen up due to both sides threatening to filibuster. The sweet spot is now. Gun owners are asked to flood voicemails, emails, and social media with a simple ask: fix flaws, then pass the bill. That message avoids infighting, showing support for the idea while insisting on getting it right. Critics worry about compromise culture asking for fixes might tempt lawmakers to dilute carry rights to appease swing voter areas. But leaving traps is a worse compromise because it sacrifices unsuspecting carriers. Fixing language doesn't weaken protections, it strengthens them in hostile courts. If anti-gun reps push restrictions, pro-Second Amendment coalitions can simply say no until clean language surfaces. Clarity beats negotiating in confusion. We've watched gun control advocates use courts as slow-motion vetoes for years. They lost Bruin, but they don't quit. They'll leverage any HR 38 ambiguity to claw back. Cleaning these flaws blocks their attack paths. A truly national carry law, free from hidden pitfalls, moves the fight from permissions to real freedom. With that, a Utah permit holder should breeze through Newark with peace of mind similar to Salt Lake City, knowing no state or federal traps are waiting. That vision's within reach if the community speaks during this critical draft time. Momentum is slippery. Political capital fades closer to midterms. Engaging now, signing the FPC letter, calling offices, and sharing real stories of prosecuted permit holders tilt the odds towards a final text aligning with President Trump's November promise. He vowed coast-to-coast recognition. We can help him deliver if Congress fine-tunes the language before sending it across Pennsylvania Avenue. Passing a half-baked bill risks headlines celebrating, but those it should protect facing cuffs at state borders. Freedom needs better craftsmanship. And that's a wrap. Share your thoughts. What's the biggest flaw in HR 38? What fixes would you demand? Drop a comment, hit like, share with your folks, and subscribe for more real talk on rights. Don't forget to click that bell. This fight ain't over.